How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Manatee Gaming. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys a really easy to do money making method. This money making method actually requires barely any effort at all. You just got to do a little bit of price checking and then you just let offers sit, and then when you're done you sell it all and you make a bunch of money. It's kind of like a flip, but it is a little bit more in depth than just a basic flipping method. But this is also a pretty decent method to teach you how to do flipping if you want a little bit of practice with flipping. Anyway, guys, let's go ahead and jump on into it. Here we go. Okay, so for this money making method, it's going to be one that is a little bit more technical, so you do really need to follow the instructions here, otherwise you could easily lose money doing this. But with that being said though, it is very easy to profit as long as you are following the directions. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing Barrows Sets. So Barrows Sets are a pretty fantastic way to make money. They've actually been making money for as long as I can remember, so this is not one that is likely to die tomorrow. But like every single money making method that I post on the channel, and especially ones like this where it literally is just buying and selling items, you do need to price check and make sure that you are not overpaying for things or underselling things or whatever. You want to make sure the method is profitable. So with that in mind, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be literally buying the pieces for a Barrows set and then recreating the Barrows set to make money doing that. So right here, if you look at the Grand Exchange, you go over to the Sets tab, you can see that we have all the different Barrows sets. And what those are is those are a combination of different Barrows pieces to make a set. So if you look right here, we've got the Carol's crossbow that I instantly sold for 7 million. We've got the Carol's coif that I instantly sold for 1.2 million, which means these are the prices you could be buying these at. You could also try to buy these for even more, or sorry, even less, because if you look right here, Carol's crossbow, that 7 million instant sell is above the market price right there. So with this method, you really want to try to buy these for the best price possible, because sometimes waiting a little bit longer will get you a better price. If you look right here, I did instantly buy a Barrows Carol set for 14.2 million. So Barrows Carol set will give you, and I'm pretty sure if you look on sets here, also come down to Barrows again, and you hover over it. Let's see, examine. It does tell you right there what it includes. So if you're like, oh, which pieces are included in the set, you can just simply look there. If you also go into the Grand Exchange itself and you click on a set that you want to look at, it will once again tell you what is included in that set right here as well, so you can figure out exactly what pieces you would need to buy in order to make that set. So this right here is how the money making method works. It's actually extremely simple. You're just going to be buying the pieces and then making the sets and reselling them. It sounds really simple. It sounds like it shouldn't be a lot of profit, but it actually is, and I'll show you exactly how much profit this Carol's set is, for example, right now. So if you look at this Carol's crossbow, like I said before, instantly sold for 7 million. And then I instantly sold this Carol's coif for 1.2. So we know that we can buy these for a combination of 8.2 million. Now, if we go back over here, I've got a Carol's skirt and I've got a Carol's top. If I was to take these right here, it says 2.5, but if I try to sell them for as low as I possibly can, and then, yep, I know it's too expensive. Boom. It doesn't even sell. So realistically, you could put an offer in there for the Carol's top at basically whatever you want to, and you might get one. So that is one of the awesome parts about this method, is that a lot of these items have little to no demand for the individual pieces, because people will usually just go in and buy a set. That's the reason why the sets are much more expensive than the individual pieces. And once again, the Carol's skirt doesn't even sell. But those sets, like I mentioned, they are the ones that people go for. If people are like, hey, I want to buy a set of Carols to disassemble it or augment it or whatever they're going to do, then they're going to buy the full set of Carols and not waste time buying individual pieces, which is why they go for so much more money. If you look at the crossbow at 7, the Carol's coif at 1.2, even if we bought these at the price that's right here, so we've got a total of 8.2, we add this to it, that's basically 9. We add this to it, that's basically 11.5. We are still looking at almost 3 million profit if we bought them at the mid price and we don't even go for like a lower offer on these. So there is just Carol's alone. You can do these with pretty much all the sets. The prices will vary. One that I would really not recommend touching though is going to be Linza's. And the reason why you don't want to do Linza's is because, number one, Linza pieces are really expensive, and as you can see, the Cuirass, however, I think it's actually pronounced Cuirass, but I don't know, it sounds kind of weird. But if you look at this top right here, we'll just call it top. It's 19.6 million for just the top. The Greaves are also 19 million. So Linza's set is only 30.1 million. These can sometimes make you money also, but people very rarely buy these pieces. They're just expensive because they're really rare. So we want to avoid Linzas. And also, even if you do get them, it's going to take an incredibly long time to do it. If you look at a Crise's set, for example, this is another one that is sometimes not profitable, but it can be. But the main ones you want to be looking at are the other sets. So if I look at Deherox, I like to start one that's like pretty high. So our room set right here is 30 million nearly for the set. I'm going to instantly buy one, hopefully. Okay, it doesn't even instantly buy. What that means when it doesn't instantly buy, guys, is that means that you could be selling these for even more. When I looked at Guthans, I think Guthan was another one that I tried to buy. It once again doesn't buy. So if they don't buy like this, that means that the prices are just higher than this. So that means there's just hardly any of them being sold, which means you have, number one, a good chance of selling yours because there's not very many for sale. But also that means you have even a higher room for a margin on these. So it's pretty fantastic. If I go to the Guthan's pieces, let's just see how much we can get these Guthan's pieces for. Okay, I'm going to have to wait on the Guthan's legs. The Guthan War Spear, looking like just under 3 million. Okay. Then we got the Guthan Helm. Okay. Looks like Guthan's, there's not a lot of pieces out there. And boom. Okay, Guthan's plate buy did come in. So what I would do is I would just let these sit. So you can do one of two things. Either you can try pushing this price up a little bit more, and then you can get them, or you can just let this offer sit and wait for it to fill. Like I said, there's not a lot of demand for the individual pieces, so if I let these things sit here for a long time, there's a really good chance that they will come in. But I already got this Guthan's plate body, so I would take that over here, and I would start building my set. Since this Guthan's set did not instant buy, let's go ahead and do like a little test on Guthan's set. So I'm going to try buying this for like 25 million. It does buy there. Let's see how much I paid. So we got a little bit of money back. I bought it for 95.80. Okay, so 95.80. We're gonna go down here. Also, I'm doing this with no cuts on this. There's no edits on this because I want to show you guys that it just works, just like going through it. Like I'm not trying to show you some buys that took 6 hours or anything like that. I'm just literally showing you as we go. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on exchange on that Barrows set. Oh, whoops! You gotta do it up here. Exchange on the Barrows set, and now I've got my 4 pieces of Guthans. Let's go back over the Grand Exchange. I already know the Guthan's plate body instantly bought at this price. So what I could do is I'm gonna take this Guthan's plate body. I'm gonna instantly sell it. Let's see what we could be paying for that. Okay, it is sold for basically just below that. So let me see what it sold for. It sold for 1.62. So you could buy this one for like 200k below the mid price, and you honestly could even buy it for even less than that realistically. I need to remove these offers so I don't accidentally sell it to myself. Okay, Guthan's spear. Let's just put it down a little bit. Let me see what this would be buying for. There we go. So as you see right there, 28.11. This is basically at mid. It's like maybe just over the mid. So if I left that mid offer, the spear totally would buy. The Guthan's helm, probably gonna be something around the same. 1264, so it's like just above it. It's probably like 200k above the mid price. So once again, you could easily just let your offer sit at mid. So those two would have bought if we let them sit. And you don't need, for you when you're doing this method, you don't need to go in here and you don't have to go instant sell everything. I'm just showing you an example of like, hey, these actually would buy if you let them sit for a while at mid price. So if we put this in here, and then once again is basically at mid. Obviously there's taxes in here, so this one once again sold for just over mid. So this is another one that if you just let your offers sit at mid. So now we know that if we let our offers sit at mid for the Guthan's pieces, they would all buy at mid. So I'm gonna go ahead and take all these out. Just go to inventory. Let's look at our history really quick. So we've got our 4 pieces of the Guthan's here. So now I'm gonna go ahead and take out my handy calculator. Let's just do a really quick calculation of this, like a really rough one. So 1250 plus 1290 plus 2870 plus 1620. So 7,030,000 is how much we could buy these pieces for, and then right here we could sell it for 95.80. So even after the taxes, you're gonna make a good amount of profit on these. Now, how much money can you actually make on these? It's actually pretty fantastic how much money you can make on these. Let's go ahead and get in the calculations of how much money you can make doing these. Okay, so let's go ahead and get on into the math of this, because I know this is probably what you're waiting for. This is why it is such a good method. Some things to keep in mind here before I go into the quick math, though, just really quick, is that the prices that you're going to be able to get these at and sell these at and everything is going to wildly vary. If we look at the Guthan set, for example, even though I bought this for $95.80, that doesn't mean that I can't sell it for more. There is not very many of these sets coming into the game because somebody has to go in there, take all the pieces, put them into a box, and resell them. That's the reason why these Carol sets and everything go for so much more than what you can buy the pieces for. I mean, we couldn't even sell the top and the bottom. So, you know, that just tells you right here that there is a much bigger demand for these sets than there is for the individual pieces. And so we know we can go much higher. So just because this was $95.80 doesn't mean you can't sell it for 10 or 11. You totally could. That just means that the lowest one for sale right now was $95.80, but we could definitely go above that. So keep that in mind, that overall, the amount of money you're going to make doing this is going to wildly vary. And also, as soon as I put this onto YouTube, it's going to change quite a bit as well. If I was just doing this on my own, then I would obviously be able to make top margins, but I'm not really worried about that. I want you guys to make some money. I'm making these videos for you guys to be able to, you know, achieve your dreams in RuneScape. You know what I'm saying? So right here, we're going to go by looking at these sets right here. We can scroll down. We can see that basically Linza's set and a Akrize set, we're not really going to keep those into consideration because Linza's set, for example, is just not going to work. It's just really not going to work. Nobody really buys this as a set. And then a Akrize set, I don't know why, but the margins are just always terrible on this. I'd say like you can expect to make 500, maybe 700K, maybe more on some days if you get lucky, but not likely to be too high of margins. So we're going to leave that as like a little bonus icing on the cake there. We're not even going to put into our calculations. We're only going to use these first 6 sets as far as our calculations go. So if I pop up my calculator here really quick, we can see what these numbers are going to look like. So in a 24-hour period, and I will show you how you can do this for a 24-hour period also, by the way, and how this will, there's lots of ways to make this like kind of easy on you. In a 24-hour period, we have a 4-hour buy limit, so we're going to divide that by 4. That means that we've got a total of 6 buy limits that we can do, and there are 6 different sets, and so that means that each one of them, which I'm not sure if you guys noticed this, but they have a 10 buy limit on those pieces. These are not a 2 buy limit, guys. These are 10 buy limit. It's awesome. I don't even know why, but they're a 10 buy limit. And so that means that we're going to be able to make a total of 60 sets maximum every 4 hours. So if we got 6 4-hour periods, that means we can make a total of 360 sets of Barrows. So once again, I'm just going to be totally honest with you. This is a perfect world example. You may not be able to get all of the pieces during the 4-hour period. You may not be able to sell 360 sets of Barrows every single day. I mean, like, we got to be realistic, but this is like the top end availability. It is possible to move this all in one day. I have moved this all in one day, but I'm just saying there could be days where you don't move them all or you not buy them all. You know, it's gonna vary. But looking based on some basically perfect market situation here, we have 360 sets that we can possibly like move each day. And then if we were looking at our Carol set, which is about right around 4 million profit, it really depends how much we buy those other pieces for. It could even be more, honestly. And then we've got our Guthan set we use, for example, which is something right around 2 million profit. We could sell it for more, but we're going to go ahead and use that example we got. So if we just take those two and you know what, just to make it easy, just to make it real easy and not to make the title look ridiculous, and also to keep real world situation into mind, I'm going to use a very low margin. So we're going to go from 1 to 2 million profit per set, okay? So obviously both the examples I just showed you were higher than that, but we're going to go for 1 to 2 million each, just in case the prices change too with the video. So if we did 2 million profit per set, we could make 720 million gold per day doing this. If we take that over the course of a week, you've got 5 billion gold that you can make over the course of a week. So, and that is going by 2 million each. If we were doing the 1 million each, then that's still 2.5 billion per week. If we looked at that times a month, because it's 4 weeks, that is 10 billion gold per month if you only made 1 million profit per set. I literally just showed you both these examples had far more than that, But if we just only made 1 million profit per set, then we're sitting at over 10 billion profit. If we did make 2 million profit per set, you'd be at 20 billion profit per month. I think I said per week on the 10 billion, but it's per month. So I'm not gonna think it's going to be realistic for you to make like anything more than 2 million on an average for the whole month. So there's no point in going even wilder than that. But if we only made 1 million each, that is a 10 billion month. So the potential is out there. And if there's anybody out there that's saying, and I just want to put this in the video, because if there's anyone out there that's saying that, oh, now that the video's out there, it's going to die or it's never going to be good again. Well, I've got news for you. I actually made a Barrows money-making guide a long time ago on the channel. And if anybody's been watching the channel for a long time, you probably remember this video. But I made it a long time ago, and they said the same thing. And I just tested this again, and it's still really profitable right now. I think it's actually more money now than it was before. So if the prices do change because of the video, you just have to keep in mind to just be patient and wait for the prices to get better and just be really competitive with your prices. But yes, you can make, I would say, 10 billion gold per month doing this. I think you hitting 20 is going to be probably not going to happen, just because that is like absolutely perfect. But yeah, there you go. 10 billion per month is possible with this method. Let me just really quickly, before we wrap up here, show you guys how to achieve the 24-hour buy limit. By the way, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to do something like this right here. So I think it was our Carol's top. Yeah, Carol's Topham shirt and skirt, that when we put it in here, it like didn't even sell, which is what you want to see, by the way. If these don't sell, that's great for you, because that means that they're just gonna, you'll be able to buy them really easy. And also our RM set hasn't even bought yet, so you can obviously, this is clearly great, but you could definitely sell this for much higher than this price. So these two not selling is a good thing to see, right? Because I'm trying to do the opposite. I'm trying to buy the pieces. I'm trying to sell the set. So if you see it won't buy and you see this won't sell, that is what you want to see. So if anybody's like, oh, these aren't moving, no, that's a good thing. So if I go for Carol's top, right? And I type in the Carol's top, and then I'm going to put an offer for like 1 million, which could easily buy. That right there is a 4-hour buy limit. So that means that I can buy this every 4 hours. And then we do a 660. And then this right here is going to be for the 24-hour period. So that will allow us to buy every 4 hours. We're going to be buying 10 times our 6, 24 hours. So that right there is what we want to be looking at. And then we would just click on that, and then we would just leave it there. And then that right there would allow us to pick up all these Carol's tops while we're asleep or while we're at work or whatever. And this kind of goes into what I was talking about when I was like the profit could range pretty wildly, because, well, what if you wake up and you only bought 20, or you only bought 40, or you bought 0? Like, you'll just have to adjust the prices and stuff too. So that is something that's you know, I'm just being realistic and honest. I'm not going to be like, you're guaranteed to make 10 bill, because you might not. But anyway, guys, no matter what, it's a really awesome and profitable method. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. In the comments down below, let me know what you think about this guide, what kind of guides you'd like to see. And as always, check out our Discord server. We have over 11,000 people in there. Would love to have you in there. If you guys want more ways of making 10 billion plus per month, because that is something that we've been showing people how to do for literally over 7 years in the Discord server, then go ahead and pop on in there and ask us how. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.